Turnover, like he was going after a quarterback. Now he goes to the hole. 2 more for Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers is playing like the All-American today, not Joe Forte.
Line hurt. Yep, kicked by Forte. We're just inside 10 minutes to play. 4-point game. In Access Live team stats for every tournament game through this interactive telecast available on Ultimate TV.
Again, you know, another thing that's interesting, Jim, the crowd is very quiet throughout all the games we've had here in the Dome. So the energy has to be picked up by the players themselves.
Penn State's led by as many as 9 in this half. John Crispin. Boy, does he shoot a high arcing shot. He's got 7 all in this half.
Did we ever see a high arcing shot like that from the corner over a guy named Antonio Lang from Arkansas?
Scotty Thurman, perhaps?
Yeah, that was about the same arc.
Forte, and just 6 for the game now. His first point since the 4:41 mark in the first half. Almost, 15 minutes on the game clock between points for Forte.
Crispin was ready to take another one.
He's not bashful.
And Forte better be aware of where Joe Crispin is, because he's wandering around out here looking for a shot himself and wouldn't be afraid to take it from there. He has unlimited range.
Pass deflected. Tar Heels doing a good job of trapping, double teaming. Inside to Haywood. This worked in the first half.
Very difficult shot. Peppers again.
Peppers just a huge presence on the offensive glass. 17 points.
Jerry Dunn, Jim, is going to have to come back with Ivory. He'd like to steal a few more minutes, but he's probably not going to be able to.
Penn State calls timeout. Their 9-point lead down to 3.
Here's a tip. American Express has this membership rewards program. Sign up and you get points when you pay with a small business card. You've got 100 points here, you've got, say, 300 points here. That'll be 4,000 points on this week's deliveries alone. You've got lots of ways to pay, but this card can take you to Hawaii, so why pay any other way?
Small business owners have earned billions of points to spend on travel, equipment, and more. To sign up for membership rewards, visit us at AmericanExpress.com.
Jerry Dunn just called timeout. It was coaching from the stands now? No, it's his twin brother, Terry. So it's not just the Crispin brothers at Penn State. It's the Dunn brothers, Jerry and Terry.
You talk about some deception. What would happen if they threw one out of the game and brought the other one back in there?
But the twins played together all through high school, and his brother Terry is an assistant coach at the University of Colorado, cheering on his brother's biggest game here today. Stolen away by the Tar Heels. They've got Owens up ahead, and Peppers. Nope, it's going against Penn State. Thought it might be the charge. Block called instead on Tyler Smith.
Boy, you have to give Peppers so much credit for his hustle today. Smith gets back here, but he is not planted. Excellent charge block call. You notice he does not have defensive position when Peppers leaves the floor. Excellent call, but how about Peppers? He's picking up every loose ball, not coming out of the game, showing a lot of stamina. This kid didn't leave any heart at home.
He averaged this year in the 3 games against Duke 4 points a game, but he averaged 6 points a game against the Duke football team. He returned an interception for a touchdown.
Making him put his shirt back in. This is a pretty smart play he's got here. You know, he doesn't have his shirt in, so the referees have to give him time. Takes a little break.
The team fouls, 10 on Penn State, only 4 for Carolina. Here comes Tate. Tate gave them some big minutes. We talked about the Michigan State win they had to get into the tournament. Actually, in the first round at the Big Ten event up in Chicago last week, Michigan had them on the ropes. It was a tie game. Brian Hurd put up a follow-up at the buzzer to win it. Tate in that game went 4 of 4 from behind the arc in the second half.
Now, Peppers had a game this year 9 for 10 from the free throw line against Marquette. Crispin will turn around.
Peppers has set a career high with 19.
18, I guess, is his previous high, right?
Yep.
That was against Maryland.
Crispin on the drive and pulled away by Forte.
Pretty nice job defensively by Forte that time, because he altered Crispin's shot.
Owens. And Carolina had that shot for the lead.
Again, you have to wonder, why does Owens come in off the bench and have to take the shot right away, just when they're making good plays?
Tough pass, but it got there from Clyde Hurd to Tate. Very little margin for error, and they got it there.
When you get it down here, you want that ball going to people that can put it away right there.
Haywood can bring them all the way back from 9 down if he sinks the free throw.
Is that on Clyde Hurd? This is going to be an important call as to who they charge the foul with. Gets around Smith. Oh, it's going to be John Crispin.
John Crispin second. Haywood's first points of the second half right there, Billy.
Well, that was an example when the shot was taken on the outside by Owens. You go inside at this time of game and play the high percentage shot.
Haywood's played now 13 NCAA tournament games in his career. He's been to 2 Final Fours the 3 previous seasons. Final Four, first round loss, and Final Four.
That first round loss, one he won't ever forget. Weber State just had a game that he would rather have stayed back in Chapel Hill, but he's getting it done here at the start of this game, and now coming back. Penn State, Jerry Dunn has to come back with Ivory.
9-point lead has disappeared. The heels have tied it.
Ed O'Neill. Big Apple, all new on a special night. CBS Wednesday after Survivor.
Dad, remember how my rent was earning me airline miles?
Yeah, that rewards program?
Scrap it. I'm not going anywhere. Mark. What I want now is merchandise, preferably brand name, and I've been kicking some numbers around, and I've already earned the television. That's going upstairs. Give me a hand with this, Dad, please. Dad.
You want brand name merchandise?
Yeah.
What does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
Points, miles, or merchandise. Holiday Inn gives you more, and more is better.
She just doesn't understand me.
What's to understand? I mean, what is that, Michael?
Is that what you think I sound like?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle, do you use a cellular phone? What's come between you two is static. Here, Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so your calls are clear.
Thank you. Sprint PCS, 1,200 minutes, all with nationwide long distance.
We can expect
Amy?
in the coming months is Director of Product Development, Paul Noon.
Got it. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, the wireless internet, with optical technology that makes it faster.
Overall, this has been an exciting
and more
year.
reliable.
But the next few months will mark the beginning of a new Gesundheit.
Come together.
In fact, with technology changing
Over me.
Jim Nance, Billy Packer, Bonnie Bernstein back here in New Orleans, and we've seen the Penn State 9-point lead disappear. What's Jerry Dunn have to do now, Billy?
I really think you've got 7 minutes to go. Titus Ivory is your best free throw shooter, so he's trying to keep him on the bench as long as possible, hoping he has the lead. But I think now, because of the quality of Ivory, he has to say to him, be very careful, but get back out on the floor. He didn't make that adjustment, so he's probably trying to steal another 2 minutes. North Carolina seems to be getting back in sync offensively, however, and they've got their big lineup out there with Lang and Haywood.
Forte on that foul, his first. Only the 15th foul, so Ivory stays on the bench with the 4.
Forte has a big responsibility defensively because Crispin is so dangerous in this type of game because he will go ahead and not mind taking a big shot.
Stolen away by the Tar Heels, who are enjoying a 16-7 stretch.
Forte over here on the side. Lang pushes him off.
Over the top, they got it there. But here comes Joe Crispin. His brother's up ahead, but he'll pull back perhaps. Iversmith way outside. Crispin tips it in with the Giants around him.
How about that. Just like his brother the other night, a sensational play on both ends of the floor. I guess he's the smallest guy in the court right now.
I don't know how he was allowed to get in there.
And Haywood has to understand if there's weak side help coming. When he goes in there, he's got to go in there strong.
Lang again on the follow.
You see, there was a case where Crispin is caught on the weak side. He may be able to help when the ball's brought down, but not when a big man keeps it up.
Joe Crispin had a good look at that one.
And now Jerry Dunn worrying about his senior in this respect. Joe Crispin will try to take on the game one-on-one. He needs to stay with the concept of this offense.
Lang got away from everyone, and North Carolina has taken the lead.
Good look by Curry.
66-64 Tar Heels.
Jerry Dunn does have Ivory over on the side, ready to bring him in. He's stolen as many minutes as he can.
John Crispin wildly put it up.
I think Jerry Dunn needs to go timeout here, Jim, and get his two Crispins under control.
Look at Curry weaving his way for two more.
What happens here, sometimes guys who have a lot of confidence in themselves need to just calm down. And that's exactly what he's telling them.
Timeout, Penn State.
Calf muscle on Curry.
I don't know if they called timeout.
No, I think it's Curry's got a calf.
Yeah.
He's got a cramp in his calf.
Crispin tip-in was pretty amazing.
It really was. Good pass out. Nobody blocking him out. Forte left him. It's actually Forte's problem. He should have stayed with his man and put a block out on him. And there's this good look by Curry. Kind of seeing his tight end open down on the goal line,
back
right?
of the end zone. Curry making two big plays the last two possessions. That assist and a driving layup. Driving for Penn State. John Crispin can't get it to go.
Again, I think the Crispins are trying to do too much by themselves. They've gotten away from the offense.
Lang wants to make the move, and Tyler Smith has it secured for Penn State. Ivory on the floor. And a whistle away from the action. It's going against Peppers. No, Lang. It's on Lang.
North Carolina would love to have Curry back on the floor. He was just getting into the swing of things.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, hold on a minute.
And that's a foul on Lang? That's one of those deals where the official saw the second action.
By the time his eyes focused in on it, that's all he saw.
Uh-oh. Another backcourt violation.
Slipping away on the offensive end for Penn State right now. Unsettled.
Well, what happened, I think, there is Crispin was going up for a bad shot. When he made the bad pass, that turned it over for his team.
Take a look at the CBS Sports Line stat of the game. And steals. This was actually one time 12 for Penn State, 0 for North Carolina. Complete tournament coverage at cbs.sportsline.com.
Curry is standing up now down on the end. I don't know, though, if he's ready to go back in the ball game.
Forte in traffic, and Ivory has Haywood all over him. A steal by Ivory.
What Forte tried to do is to dribble between the double team. It wasn't available, and he threw it away. He's having a very off game for him. A guy that made first-team All-American and co-ACC Player of the Year.
Third on Haywood. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Ivory. His mother, Carlinia, is in a local hospital here in New Orleans. Had to be taken there earlier today, and reports are she's going to be fine. But Titus came over before the game in the layup line and said she will be watching, and tell her that I love her.
This young man, outstanding all-around player in the Big Ten. Scoring, he was fourth, assists fourth, free throws first, steals first, 3 points in a game, fourth. I mean, you can't have much better a year than that at 6'3".
Shoot one more.
Good move by Jerry Dunn to get Ivory back in there. We understand that his mom had some stomach problems, Jim, but everything seems to be okay.
She's going to be fine.
Yeah.
There was some concern after the shoot-around this morning. They went to see her. And Haywood snags it. Oh, and it spins out into the arms of Ivory.
That was good hands by Haywood. Put it up a little bit too hard.
2 to tie, 3 for the lead. Crispin fakes. Back outside. Ivory can give him the lead, and he's done it.
Boy, Jerry Dunn, by bringing him back into the ball game, has a real leader on the floor. It took a lot of minutes off.
Penn State leads last year's Final Four team by 1. With the final 4 minutes of play here at the South Region. Forte. And what a rebound by Klein Hurd, and Haywood takes him down, his 4th.
Forte took a bad shot. Looked like he almost didn't know what else to do with the ball. Here's the basket. Ivory with a very good offset there. So many times you see players, when a man penetrates, they stand in one spot. What Ivory did, and it was a very smart play, he moved to his left to establish a passing lane for Crispin.
You don't think Ivory, a Charlotte kid, doesn't love this? Making big shots against North Carolina. He was the Charlotte Observer Athlete of the Year 2 years in a row. He played football, was all conference on both sides of the ball. But one of the years he won that, there was a guy at Providence High School in Charlotte that didn't get the Charlotte Observer Award. His name was Antoine Jamison.
Let's find out who was on that voting committee. Ivory over Jamison as a basketball player? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, it was the Athlete of the Year.
Well, because he was double sport. Double sport. Okay.
Season high 17 steals for Penn State. They were down 4 briefly, but rallied back in front by 3.
Travel, the more you notice space is at a premium. And the more you'll appreciate United's Economy Plus, with up to 5 extra inches of legroom. One more thing we're doing to make it easier to feel united.
The next generation of wireless communication is here. And technologies from Agilent are helping make it all possible. We've taken the fiction out of science fiction. Agilent Technologies, dreams made real.
This is Janice. How can I help you, Mr. Walker?
Yes, hi. I was having a bad day today. I've had enough! I decided that I was going to get in my car and take a drive. Anyway, I took a wrong turn.
Relax. We'll get you home.
Impala LS with 200 horsepower and, fortunately, OnStar. Chevy Impala. We'll be there.
See why Raymond is TV Guide's Comedy Series of the Year.
I have never been more attracted to you in my entire life.
And all new Raymond, CBS Monday.
It was all disjointed for the Nittany Lions for a moment. They were down 68-64, but they've run off 7 straight, Billy.
I think the reason for that, they brought back Ivory, and he has really given them a semblance out there on the floor where their offense was kind of getting away from them a little bit. Really solidified things defensively as well. They're matching up.
Capel gets away. Nice move.
Joe Crispin saying, where was everybody? I'm playing my guy. Nobody came to help. North Carolina stays in at man-to-man. Good time to go to Klein Hurd. He's got Haywood on him. Haywood has a little foul problem. Very good patience here by Penn State. Double screen, triple screen.
Well, Crispin thought about it, steps in instead, won't challenge Haywood. Watkins will take it outside. Rebound, Klein Hurd.
Just great patience out there. I'm sure Jerry Dunn talked to Crispin and said, hey, look, you don't try to take this game over all by yourself. Stay with the offense.
20 on the shot clock. 2:40 to play.
North Carolina patient now.
sends it out. And there are 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Still plenty of time. Probably a pretty good job by Crispin to take a chance on that shot, but not against the best shot blocker North Carolina's ever had.
Haywood with 4 blocks, but 4 fouls, so
that's why I think it was a good gamble.
That's exactly my point. Challenge him. Joe Crispin, and Watkins tips it around. Penn State again keeps it alive. It's been a long possession, Billy.
Well, the total rebound advantage by North Carolina. Now it comes down the wire, and they can't get one. 3 offensive rebounds by Penn State in that sequence. They've got everything spread out, so you're getting a lot of long rebounds.
Tyler Smith, one of the biggest shots of his career, buries it.
Nice job by Watkins, and you can see what's happening to North Carolina right now. Penn State, good job by Watkins.
Watkins has come in. He kept it alive on the last possession and makes the steal here with 1:50 to play.
Had a very good game against Providence, giving them good solid play here. And because they have things spread out so far, Jim, it takes away the rebounding advantage of the big men for North Carolina.
Timeout, Penn State.
Nice job, Penn State.
Penn State 73, North Carolina 70.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe. Spin it, spin it, spin it.
The Nittany Lions use a timeout. We'll have 20 seconds on the shot clock. What about the Carolina lineup, Billy?
Well, I think that right now you realize what Penn State's going to do. They're going to be working the clock. They're spreading the ball out. They've got excellent guard play. I think North Carolina has to go smaller here with their lineup. They've got Peppers and Haywood out there that can't chase.
Forte eyeing Joe Crispin. They double him up. He goes right by him. Sets up Ivory. Jump shot. Oh, got it. That's a 2. It's ruled a 2.
Again, you have North Carolina with a big lineup out there, not able to cover the court.
Forte finds Capel, baseline, spin, back out, Peppers, lays it in, back to a 1-point game, a 3-point game.
But here's where you try to play, Jim, a little offense and defensive squads. Look at how Penn State has it spread out. North Carolina too big to go out and press them with their big fellas.
Double team on Ivory, 75-72, Penn State. Watkins in the middle. He'll take the shot. Can you believe it? One of the last guys you would expect. He has come in with big clutch plays, but reaches in on this one.
He tried to come up with 1 steal too many. You don't want to stop the clock if you're Penn State. He realizes it.
How about some of these moments he's had in the game's final minutes?
I'm Greg Gumbel in New York. We'll interrupt your game just for a moment to take you to the finish of what's going on in Kemper Arena. Notre Dame and Ole Miss. Let's go to Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery.
You don't want to do that. Well, it's painful. But you help Notre Dame. The clock stops. You put a talented performer on the free throw line at 86%. Oh, everything going against you.
Dishbury looks on as Matt Carroll tries the first.
They forgot to get Lockhart out.
Oh, boy. 86%. And now Matt Carroll back at the line to shoot his second. Rod Barnes in his 3rd year as head coach. A huge 3-point basket by Jason Harrison, the 5'5" point guard, has given Ole Miss the lead. Now the second of 2 free throws. And the margin of difference is 2. 19 seconds left. Ole Miss calls a timeout.
Greg Gumbel once again. Notre Dame, Ole Miss fighting for the right to move on to play Arizona. Let's send you back to New Orleans to the Louisiana Superdome. Penn State, North Carolina. Jim Nance and Billy Packer.
Penn State leads by 3 at the line. Their star, all Big Ten player, Joe Crispin with a 1-and-1. Penn State led by 9 early in this half. Carolina came back to take a lead by 4. Back came the Nittany Lions. And while one brother hits a free throw, the coach's twin, Terry Dunn, applauds. John Crispin sitting at the moment. He had a big three earlier in this half. 2 for 2. Carolina must come back from 5 down with 45 seconds to play.
They don't need a three here. Drive to the basket if you're Curry. Drive to the basket.
Has to go back out. Forte, three-pointer. Bounces out. Rebound, Klein Hurd.
And he's just going to hold it till he gets fouled. And he gets fouled before they call a jump.
Is it on Haywood?
Yes, it is. That's all for him, isn't it?
Haywood has fouled out. That's his 5th. And unless some of his teammates save him, that could be the end of his Tar Heel career.
The big fella got off to a great start today, but remember, Jim, he came out of that game after about 3 or 4 minutes and sat down when North Carolina was totally in control. And during that sit-down period, Penn State got the confidence and got back into this basketball game.
13 points, 13 rebounds, 4 blocks. He really was the central figure at the start of this game. But Haywood is out. Doherty will take his time finding a replacement. It's going to be Lang. That's his selection. Well, Haywood, man, it went to 2 Final Fours in his Carolina career. Must draw on his teammates now to extend his life in a North Carolina uniform.
Jim, think of this right now. Lang comes in. North Carolina needs 3-point shooting. They don't need another big man on the floor. They need to come back in with an offensive team that can take some threes.
They've missed their last 8 3 attempts. Watch this. Klein Hurd before the attempt. He'll scratch his right thigh.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Let's take you to Kemper Arena for the final moments of Notre Dame and Ole Miss.
Carroll. At the other end, here's Flanagan. Brings it back outside, another foul. David Sanders, my goodness. Unbelievable. The speed to cover on the Irish deep shooters consistently.
Ole Miss about to go to the free throw line. Let's send you back to New Orleans. Penn State, North Carolina. Jim Nance, Billy Packer.
You would think right here Owens would come into the ball game Lang out of there, but it's not going to be that way.
14 seconds to play. Forte. Rebound to Crispin.
And a foul, and it puts Crispin on the line, and that seals this game. And Jim, what's really interesting, in 54, when Penn State went to the Final Four, do you know another team that's kind of making a story? Southern Cal was in the Final Four. Do we have some mystery names?
Both are gone to the Sweet 16.
That's right.
At the free throw line, Joe Crispin.
Some of you have just joined us, but Penn State was aware that this was a chance today to really get the program over the hump. Perhaps the biggest win in school history. They did go to that Final Four back in 54, but it didn't take as many games to get there. This just to the Sweet 16, but they had only one NCAA tournament win before Friday in the last 46 years, and now they're about to knock off a Final Four team of a year ago, the storied program of North Carolina. Penn State only 9 seconds away from knocking off number 2 seed North Carolina in the South region.
It's the first loss ever in the Dome for North Carolina. Won 2 national championships here, and of course won the other night. But today they were totally out of sync, particularly in the midpoint of this basketball game.
Jerry Dunn, the coach at Penn State in his 6th year, said, "My kids are not starry-eyed about playing anybody." When you come out of the Big Ten, and then let's not forget, this is the last team to join the Big Ten. It hasn't been but about 10 years for the Nittany Lions. And
well, Jim, we talked about the start of the show. They've beaten 2 number 1s, and they beat Kentucky. And I realized that was early in the year before Tubby Smith got the team on the great roll they are right now. But that was at Kentucky. And then, of course, Michigan State and Illinois, 2 number 1 seeds that they also beat. So, terrific accomplishment. And particularly when you think at a point in time in this year, people were saying maybe Jerry Dunn isn't the guy that should be coaching at Penn State. He sure has eliminated any talk of that.
Penn State will take on Temple at the regional in Atlanta, Pennsylvania flavor, down in Atlanta, down Georgia way. That means that only one Final Four team from a year ago makes it back to the Sweet 16. That's Michigan State. North Carolina out here today. Florida lost on this floor earlier. Forte can't get it, and Watkins chases it down. And the Penn State Nittany Lions are heading to the Sweet 16.
Joseph Forte walks off the floor, gets congratulated by Crispin, but this wasn't his day. It was all about the Nittany Lions.
And Klein heard it's a tradition. When they win, he carries the Nittany Lion right on his back off the floor. Team that relies on a little brotherly love in the backcourt.
Well, they have that, Jim, and they also have seniors that did not want to play their last game. Terrific job and a great coaching job by Jerry Dunn.
Terrific. And they'll be heading to Atlanta to take on a team from the city by that moniker.
Yep.
Brotherly Love Temple. They'll meet him in the next round Friday in Atlanta. Titus Ivory, a dedication game to his mother here in a local New Orleans hospital.
Nice way to say, I love you, Mom.
Yeah, he said, please tell her I love you. She'll be released tomorrow. Had some stomach problems yesterday, and she's in for observation.
He's loving it.
He's got the arms out. There's a hug on the way. Penn State to the Sweet 16. North Carolina is out. We're going back to New York and to Greg Gumbel in just a moment.